Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask, Heidi. It is the weekend, so let's do the whole doggone thing. Saturday, April 15th, National Laundry Day, Purple Up Day, National Auctioneers Day, National Glazed Spiral Ham Day, National Titanic Remembrance Day, National Rubber Eraser Day, National Take a Wild Guess Day, and National Tax Day in the USA. 16th of April, Sunday, National Bean Counter Day, National Orchid Day, National Healthcare Decisions Day, National Wear Your PJs to Work Day, and National Eggs Benedict Day. We are officially halfway through the month of April, which seems like it just started. How did that happen?
Isn't that crazy? I know.
It is crazy. I'm going to be visiting with Jordan Goodman. He is America's Money Answers man. Last time we spoke, there was a bank that had just had all kinds of stuff going on in Silicon Valley. Remember that? So
yes.
Apparently that's been a month
there.
ago. Yeah, so like his job has probably been nothing but, chaos
Just
in the last month.
relaxing on the beach.
Yeah, there's nothing. Well, we'll be chatting with Jordan Goodman from MoneyAnswers.com, the America's Money Answers man, coming up in a bit.
What a year. With prices on everything going up, it's more important than ever to have a better credit card. Some people use a credit card that's not a very good one. At BetterCreditCards.com, we offer a variety of credit card options to fit your needs. Whether you want a card to give you cash back or points and perks, or a credit card to help you build your credit, we probably have it at BetterCreditCards.com. Give yourself a little credit. BetterCreditCards.com. That's BetterCreditCards.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. Study linked wandering minds with sharper brains. That's pretty cool. Researchers found that those who appear to be constantly distracted have, quote, more working memory, end quote. That gives them the ability to do two things at the same time. I'm one of those people, by the way. Heidi disagrees. She doesn't think so.
No, you get very easily distracted.
I know, and it's what it says.
You can't do more than one thing at a time.
Oh, I can too. I'm doing like 9 things right now.
Let me
9 things poorly,
correct myself. You can do 9 things all at the same time, but nothing gets finished.
Oh yeah. I got a lot of things started over here.
Yeah.
So next time your boss wakes you up from a good daydream during a meeting, tell them, hey, I'm sharpening my working memory right now. Should probably be getting a raise out of this deal.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah, that's probably not going to happen, but it is good news, I think. I don't know. I've got to link all of the details in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Did you know you can allocate a percentage of your IRA to physical gold and silver with a tax-free rollover? You can put your IRA back on the gold standard. Genesis Gold IRA is the only IRA that can hold physical precious metals. Call now for your free gold and silver report and learn how to qualify for up to $10,000 in free silver. GenesisGoldIRA.com would like to help protect your IRA today with a simple phone call. Learn more and get the phone number at GenesisGoldIRA.com. That's GenesisGoldIRA.com.
Did you know? Brought to you by GenesisGoldIRA.com. Heidi, did you know Buckingham Palace has unveiled an official emoji depicting a multicolored crown to commemorate the May 6th ceremony for the monarch and his wife, Camilla. The image combines the colors gold and purple and blue and green and orange and is based on St. Edward's crown. The emoji will appear when social media users type in the hashtag coronation, hashtag coronation concert, hashtag coronation weekend, and hashtag coronation big lunch. What? All of those things. Oh, we've got some more British news to get to here in a bit as well. But there we go. The coronation coming up next month. May 6th is when that's going to be. Doggone it. I have plans that day. I'm not going to make it. All right. We don't know everything, but now we know this. Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by InsuranceChicken.com. Prince Harry will attend his father's coronation, King Charles III, following weeks of tense speculation. Heidi was losing sleep over this.
I couldn't
she didn't
sleep.
Eat
I was
for
tossing
3 days.
and turning.
She was so worried.
Sick to my stomach.
But here's the surprise. Meghan Markle will not be attending.
Is anybody really surprised?
Yeah, no, not really. According to a spokesperson, Buckingham Palace is pleased to confirm that the Duke of Sussex will attend the coronation service at Westminster Abbey on May the 6th. The Duchess of Sussex will remain in California with Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet. Am I saying that right?
I have no idea.
This will be Harry's first reunion with members of the royal family since January's release of his blockbuster memoir, Spare. So, yeah, are going to be
Could be
a
interesting.
little awkward, I'm thinking, at that little event. Big screen, little screen, brought to you by InsuranceChicken.com.
How much do you pay for your cell phone every month? If it's more than $15, it's time for a Mintervention. Mint Mobile makes it affordable and easy to switch. Get a new phone or bring in your current phone. iPhones and Samsung phones both work well with Mint Mobile. At Mintervention.com, you can see the current special offers from Mint Mobile, offering premium wireless for just $15 a month. That's far less than most people are paying, just $15 a month. Learn more now at Mintervention.com. That's Mintervention.com.
Now your scoop of the day comes your way courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com. This is kind of cool. They invented a bracelet that reminds you to drink water. I think I need one of those. I bet it would match.
We really try to drink more water.
Oh, yeah.
And then you get going with your day and you forget all about it. And then at the end of the day, you're like, oh.
Oh, I should have been drinking more. So if I had a bracelet that reminded me to drink water, it would match my belt that reminds me to stop eating. See what I did there?
I see where you were going there.
And we are just a week away from Earth Day. Saturday, April 22nd is Earth Day. The most recycled things in the world are, in this order, aluminum cans, and then plastic jugs, and then movie scripts. A New Mexico man was busted for offering a woman fast food in return for sex. So, he was in New Mexico. He's like, hey, so it's trying to do prostitution via fast food. So in other states, some places, they actually refer to that as a first date. So it's still a bad idea. Researchers say the average kid eats the equivalent of 5,500 sugar cubes per year. So in all the different foods and things, so that's a whole lot of sugar is what they're saying.
Holy cow.
And I've got a list of bizarre deaths, and I think this is just really weird stuff. We all got to go somehow. So here's some interesting ways. 2010, Mike Edwards, a cellist and founding member of the band Electric Light Orchestra, died when a large round bale of hay rolled down a hill and collided with the van that he was driving.
Holy cow.
Yeah, can you even imagine? That's a weird way to go. 1996, Mark Gleason from England insisted on attempting to cure his incurable snoring with his girlfriend by taking sleeping pills and inserting some tampons into his nostrils.
Okay.
He died from suffocation. The sleeping pills
I bet.
added to breathing difficulties. And then in 2009, Larry Eli Murillo Moncada, I don't know if I said it right, a supermarket employee, Council Bluffs, Iowa, is believed to have fallen into the 18-inch gap between the cooler and the wall and became trapped. His body is discovered 10 years later when the cooler was being moved.
Oh, my gosh.
10 years later, yeah. So that is just bizarre. I've got all that in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
InsuranceChicken.com wants to know, how much are you paying for your insurance? I know it seems like a hassle to switch to a different company, but if you can save a few bucks, it's worth crossing the road to InsuranceChicken.com. We have several of the top insurance companies trying to earn your business. They do that by offering great insurance that is cheap. Okay, enough of the silly chicken puns. It's time to get serious about saving you money on your insurance at InsuranceChicken.com. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show this weekend. About once a month, we check in with Jordan Goodman. He is known as America's Money Answers Man. He's written about 13 different books on the topic. I guess you can find them anywhere books are sold, but you can also find them on his website, moneyanswers.com. And Jordan, when we spoke last month, the banking crisis had just hit, but then since then, there's just been no news whatsoever that's interesting. The financial world has been calm and settled. Maybe not.
I would disagree with that, actually, John.
Probably.
Lots of interesting things have happened. I mean, one of the big things, of course, was the crisis in the banking sector, where Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank and then Credit Suisse collapsed in a few hours, actually.
Yeah,
and it just put a big surprise into a lot of people. And it's not over. I mean, the FDIC came in and insured all the deposits of Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank to prevent banking-wide contagion. But the problem that sunk Silicon Valley Bank is the same with many other banks. I mean, they took their deposits and they invested them in treasury bonds, which you think would normally be very safe. But then when interest rates rose because the Federal Reserve raised rates so much, the value of those bonds went down. And then when there was a run on the bank, they had to sell bonds at a loss to meet those redemptions. And they ran out of money, basically, is what happened, until they got saved by the FDIC. So that's true of many other banks. They've got huge losses in their portfolios on bonds because the Fed's been raising rates so much.
When we spoke last month, all of this was just beginning. Are there some things that have actually transpired because of this?
A lot of people have moved their money out of medium and smaller sized banks into big banks, into J.P. Morgan and Citibank and Wells Fargo and Bank of America. People think the big banks are too big to fail, so they feel safer there. There's controversy over whether the FDIC will insure more than $250,000 in an account. I mean, officially they don't have to, but when Silicon Valley Bank went down, they felt they had to. So there's still a kind of nervousness out there of what's insured, what's deposit covered, and what is not. In order for them to raise the deposit insurance amount from $250,000, Congress has to get involved, and they move very slowly and probably are not going to do it. So FDIC just doesn't have the authority to just raise the deposit limit on their own.
Now, some of the ripple effects from this, I think, are being seen with like gold prices and digital currencies like Bitcoin. Let's talk about what's happening in those markets right now.
So out of the fear of what's happening in the banking system, people have been putting money into Bitcoin and gold. Bitcoin's over 28,000. Remember, back in December, it was about 16,000. So it's really had a big move here. And gold is over 2,000 an ounce for the first time ever. So the big three, as far as places people putting their money, are gold, Bitcoin, and treasuries, because that's also considered to be a kind of a safe haven. So amidst all the volatility out there, those are the places that people are putting their money these days.
Now, when it comes to silver, is that kind of lumped in with the gold market, or is that a whole separate thing?
It does okay, but it hasn't gone up as much as gold has. It's got more industrial uses than silver, other than the gold does. But it couldn't hurt to have a little silver. But gold is the main play in this area.
So let's talk about two different groups right now. There are some folks out there that maybe have some money that they're trying to protect that and make sure that it's there for when they retire. But then also let's talk about people who maybe need to lend money right now in this environment and what that looks like. But let's first talk about maybe somebody who has some money saved up for retirement and they want to make sure that they're making the right moves right now to have that money when it is time for retirement.
Well, treasuries. I mean, you're getting about a 3.5% to 4% yield on treasuries. Money market mutual funds that invest in treasuries are also in the 4% range. Considering we were used to zero for a long time, John, this is a lot better than people are getting now. So that's the kind of safe haven there. As far as borrowing, it's much tougher. I mean, if banks are losing deposits to the big banks, they have less money to lend. And in general, lending criteria are getting tougher, and the interest rates are higher. So it's slowing the economy, which is what the Federal Reserve wants to do. They want to have slower economic growth. That's what brings inflation down, which has worked to some extent, but not enough. The Fed wants inflation rates at like 2%. Currently, they're at maybe about 4.5%.
If somebody listening maybe has questions and would like to reach out, what is the best way to get a hold of you, sir?
My email is jordan@moneyanswers.com. Always glad to help your listeners, John.
Jordan, thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Very good. Thank you, John.
Absolutely. Again, Jordan Goodman, America's Money Answers man. You can find him on his website, again, moneyanswers.com. And I'll throw a link to that in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
What a year. With prices on everything going up, it's more important than ever to have a better credit card. Some people use a credit card that's not a very good one. At bettercreditcards.com, we offer a variety of credit card options to fit your needs. Whether you want a card to give you cash back or points and perks, or a credit card to help you build your credit, we probably have it at bettercreditcards.com. Give yourself a little credit. Bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
There's a moon named Cupid that orbits around Uranus. There's a 12-year-old joke in there somewhere that I'm going to just stop. Speaking of outer space, in 2001, when Russia's space station Mir fell out of space and burned up on its way back to Earth, there was over 100 books inside. So I wonder why they didn't take the books out. And another fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Earthworms don't have eyes.
Okay.
Never really thought about it, but yeah. So they probably don't need sunglasses or nothing. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Of all 50 states, California grows the most food. You might not think of that, but it's a big state, and that is where there's more food from California than any other state. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
8% of adults eat cookies for breakfast at least once a week. I can't think of the last time I had cookies for breakfast. Although I did love me some Cookie Crisp when I was a kid. Several fun facts. Now you know. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Did you know you can allocate a percentage of your IRA to physical gold and silver with a tax-free rollover? You can put your IRA back on the gold standard. Genesis Gold IRA is the only IRA that can hold physical precious metals. Call now for your free gold and silver report and learn how to qualify for up to $10,000 in free silver. GenesisGoldIRA.com would like to help protect your IRA today with a simple phone call. Learn more and get the phone number at GenesisGoldIRA.com. That's GenesisGoldIRA.com.
Time now for the Mint Mobile question of the day. Yay! It's brought to you by Mintervention.com. Question, Heidi. 15% of people said this is their biggest fear when public speaking. What is it? Their biggest fear while speaking in public. I don't have this fear because I do this all the time, whether I'm speaking in public or not.
Just embarrassing yourself.
No. Well, that too. I do that as well. But no, the answer is sweating. So they're afraid they're going to get up there and be sweaty.
Okay.
Here's the thing. I'm sweating even when I'm not speaking in public, so it doesn't much matter to me. Mint Mobile question of the day comes your way, courtesy of Mintervention.com.
How much do you pay for your cell phone every month? If it's more than $15, it's time for a Mintervention. Mint Mobile makes it affordable and easy to switch. Get a new phone or bring in your current phone. iPhones and Samsung phones both work well with Mint Mobile. At Mintervention.com, you can see the current special offers from Mint Mobile, offering premium wireless for just $15 a month. That's far less than most people are paying, just $15 a month. Learn more now at Mintervention.com. That's Mintervention.com.
Now, some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. In France, a man was on trial for burglary, and the case was winding down just before the judge was about to hand down his sentence. The accused got up, pushed the prosecutor down, punched a police officer, and ran. Because of all the confusion, he had a pretty good head start. Too bad one of his shoelaces came undone.
Oh.
And that's
Tie your
what caused
shoes.
him to fall down, and then a security guard was able to catch him. So, yeah. Nobody saw that coming. What in the world? Does that seem like... It seems like something out of a movie.
That does. It seems bizarre.
Yeah. So I can't imagine that they wouldn't have been prepared. But again, it kind of sounds like, nobody thought that was going to happen. So I don't know how long he's going to go to jail, but however long it was, I bet it's longer now. So, weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show this weekend.
John and Heidi.
Time now for the list brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. Heidi, what are some things that take 5 minutes but feel like it takes way longer than 5 minutes? I'll give some examples. Watching a video while somebody else is holding the phone, insisting that it's hilarious. They're like, no, watch this. This is so funny.
Oh, yeah.
And you're like, okay, what am I watching for? No, wait, it's coming.
So annoying.
It's coming soon. Hang on. Hey, did you miss it? And then they got to look, and then they look right when it happens. They're like, oh, no, you missed it. Here, let's start it over again. I'm like, no, I don't want to watch any of this. Another one, after it dies, plugging your phone back in and waiting for it to come back to life.
Yeah.
Oh, I've had that. In the middle of a call, and then my phone died, and then I was waiting because I'm like, how do I call back now and let them know I didn't hang up on you? My phone died. Keeping an eye on a spider while you're fumbling around to find something to hit it with. And the last thing on the list of things that take 5 minutes but feel like forever, pumping gas, especially if you're at one of those places where they have the screen ads yelling at you the entire time.
Yep.
I'm not a fan of those at all. The list brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com.
InsuranceChicken.com wants to know, how much are you paying for your insurance? I know it seems like a hassle to switch to a different company, but if you can save a few bucks, it's worth crossing the road to InsuranceChicken.com. We have several of the top insurance companies trying to earn your business. They do that by offering great insurance that is cheap. Okay, enough of the silly chicken puns. It's time to get serious about saving you money on your insurance at InsuranceChicken.com. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Now your quote of the day comes your way, courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. Our quote today is from Scott Adams. Scott says, I wish I were dumber so I could be more certain about my opinions. It looks like fun. Have you ever noticed that? Especially when it's like a really weird opinion.
It's usually somebody who's not at all smart that are
Well,
so certain about their opinions.
Yeah, like and it's just
Yeah.
again, I don't mean to make fun of anybody, but I know several people that are very, very wrong, but very, very
They're very
adamantly that they're
certain.
very, very right. And I'm like,
Yes.
okay, well, I'm going to just, I don't argue because I'm like, you know what? Maybe they're right. Quote of the day comes your way, courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. It comes your way courtesy of GenesisGoldIRA.com. And I love this story as much as I can love any story.
Okay.
That's a lot.
That is a lot.
Lowe's employee goes above and beyond and builds life-changing apparatus for a family. So listen to this.
Wow.
A family trip to a Lowe's hardware store turned into a life-changing moment that they'll never forget. Mark and Jessica Getty try to make life easier for their son William, who he was born with a quadriplegic spastic cerebral palsy. They wanted to build him a set of parallel bars to help him learn how to walk. They were searching for materials at Lowe's, and they met a guy by the name of Dave Urban. He did more than just point him in the right direction. After seeing this young man, William, in a wheelchair and learning what they were trying to do, Urban spent an hour and a half fitting and cutting PVC pipes to the specifications the family researched and found. Then came the test. William got up out of the wheelchair, grabbed a hold of those bars. Urban told Fox 29, said, "I think you saw the courageous smile of his sense of pride," and he said, "It just keeps getting me."
Aww.
The family said it meant the world to them. Said Will can use these parallel bars to practice walking forward and side to side and to pull himself up. It was evident that it meant a lot to Dave, too, because he started to tear up right along with the family as he was building this thing. And he said it was just really, really cool. I've got a video, and you can see this thing made out of PVC pipes. By the way, I'm a huge fan of making stuff out of PVC pipes.
Oh, you
Heidi
are.
hates it.
I cannot
She's like,
handle
"What is
it."
this?" I'm like, "I'm making this thing out of PVC." And she's like,
this
"Stop.
looks so chintzy.
Stop watching things on YouTube
Exactly.
and quit making
Please
these things."
just
Like,
don't.
look at that. I made that for like $2. And she's like, "Yeah, it looks like it. That's
Yeah.
$1 more than it's worth." All right, time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show this weekend.